Assalamu alaikum. I have been watching the news and the conversations on social media, newspapers, and I have been feeling that something needs to be said because there is a sense that we as Kashmiris are being deprived of our voice by force and by the might of the state. Even if we say something which is within the confines of law, we are being targeted. And this state repression against speech is more evident inside the Kashmir Valley. No one can say anything. There is a sense of defeat, a sense that if you say something, there will be terrible consequences. And there have been many instances where people have been called to police stations, their phones have been taken away, and some have been booked, and many more have been detained without any charges, without any legal process, just because they dared to criticize the policies of the government. They dared to demand their rights. They dared to speak out against injustices. This is happening before our own eyes. And it's not a time to stand back and suffer in silence. If there are definitely people inside the valley who are not able to speak, express their views, but there are Kashmiris around the world. They must raise their voices in support of their brothers and sisters in Kashmir who are suffering the worst type of repression, of suffocation. Kashmiris are highly educated, intelligent people. They like to express their views, and it is their basic human right to speak their mind, to express their opinions without fear of reprisals by the state. Of course, I'm not saying that there is a right to violate the law, but there is no right to speak in Kashmir. Apparently, under the Constitution, people in India have the freedom of expression and speech as a fundamental right. But why is that right denied to the Kashmiri people if you claim that they are citizens of India? If you claim that after abrogation of Article 370, Kashmir is a part of India, which is a travesty of facts and justice, travesty of law. So we're going to talk about what is happening in Kashmir. We're going to talk about people, real people, who are suffering economically, who are suffering otherwise, who are denied equal opportunities in employment, in education, in everyday life, who are profiled, discriminated against, and held under the force of brute power of the gun and police and paramilitary forces. There are many who are arrested, who are detained, and who are unjustly punished. This kind of repression cannot and should not continue. It should not be like this in a civilized society. How can Kashmir's children, boys and girls who are in schools, who are in an impressionable age, how can they thrive in an environment which is so choking, which is so full of stress, which is threatening? How can they survive in that environment where there is no freedom to grow, to create, to express themselves without reprisal of being targeted, punished, or harassed?